Let's face it, Christmas would not be Christmas without the traditional mince pie, and if you've not made them yourself from scratch, then you really are missing a trick. First of all, we're going to make the pastry, and I'm going to be doing this in the Swan Retro Stand Mixer. Now, if you don't have one of these, don't worry, you can do it by hand, it's just going to take you a little bit longer. For the pastry, we're going to need flour, sugar, butter. So we're going to drop the head of this machine down, we're going to set this to low and run it for about 2 minutes, and then see what we end up with. You know you're almost done when the mixture starts to resemble sort of like a breadcrumb-like texture. And I'll just show you exactly what I mean by that. You can see here the sort of texture that we're achieving. This lets you know it's now time to add a little bit of moisture, which is going to eventually bring the whole pastry together. And you'll see the pastry begin to start to form into a ball. And that's when you know when it's ready. Okay, once the pastry started to come together, it's time to grab this out and form it into a ball. Now what we want to do is allow this pastry a chance to rest, preferably in the fridge, before we start to roll it out for our mince pies. So we're going to wrap this tightly in some cling film, and we're going to pop that into the fridge. Now, whilst that's resting, let's crack on with the next step. The filling for our pie couldn't be easier. What we're going to do is take some shop-bought mincemeat and we're going to spice that up with some other ingredients. So you're going to need, of course, the mincemeat itself. You've then got some mandarin here as well, some chopped apple, and then also the zest of that mandarin too. What we're going to do is mix all of those ingredients together until they're thoroughly combined. Once that's done, it's time to get back to the pastry. Now that the pastry's rested, it's time to remove it from the cling film and roll it out to around about 3 mils in thickness. Now to do this, I am using the Cake Boss pastry mat. I'm also using the Cake Boss acrylic rolling pin as well. We're going to roll it out to about 3 mils in thickness, and then it's time to cut out the lids and the bases. Now we're going to be using the Tower Pie Maker, so we're only cutting 1 lid and 1 base. But were you to make individual mince pies, of course you'd then be cutting more. We can then assemble the pie, and we're going to be using the Tower Family Pie Maker. So we're going to take the base layer of pastry, pop that in. In also goes our filling, and on with a pastry lid. Close it up, and 20 minutes later, we'll have a beautifully baked pie. Once your pie is golden brown and the pastry is beautifully crisp, you know it's time to serve and enjoy. So all this needs is a little dusting of icing sugar, and then it's time to tuck in. Whether you enjoy it hot or cold, it's completely up to you.